So this right here is the only video you need to watch if you want to learn how to make a Jack Rose cocktail at home. And the Jack Rose cocktail is a classic cocktail in the sour family. And the exact origins are somewhat unclear. It probably came about sometime in the early 1900s, but it became extremely popular in the 1920s and 1930s. And actually in the year 1926, exactly 100 years ago, it appeared in Ernest Hemingway's book, The Sun Also Rises. And even now in the year 2026, I find that this is still an amazing cocktail. It's still relatively popular, and I've made it time and time again, and I've always enjoyed this cocktail. And as I mentioned already, it does fall into the sour template, so let's get it right into how to make it. As you may or may not know, a sour does contain just 3 ingredients. All sours will contain a spirit, a citrus juice, and a sweetener. And they all contain those ingredients generally in that same formula or that same template, that same, basically that same ratio of ingredients, usually 2 ounces of the liquor, 3/4 ounce of the spirit, and then 3/4 ounce of the sweetener. For the exact ingredients that we're gonna be using here, a Jack Rose cocktail contains just these 3 ingredients, which are gonna be applejack or apple brandy, lime juice for the citrus juice, and then grenadine for the sweetener. And it does follow that sour template exactly, so it's gonna be 2 ounces of the applejack or apple brandy, 3/4 ounce of the lime juice, and then 3/4 ounce of the grenadine. For the exact brands that I'm gonna be using for my video here and for my cocktail, for applejack, apple brandy, the brand that I've exclusively used for probably over 5 years now is going to be Laird's. And I found that they're one of the best and one of the most affordable, definitely a great option for home bartenders. They're readily available throughout the United States as well. Then for citrus juice, I'm gonna be using Nelly & Joe's Key West lime juice. This is for my lime juice here. And I've used tons of lime juices over the years, but this is the one that I find myself coming back to time and time again. And now it's the one that I use exclusively when I'm making videos on this channel or when I'm making cocktails in general for myself or for my friends and family. And then finally, for the grenadine, we're going to be using Lieber & Co. Lieber & Co. along with Liquid Alchemist are my 2 absolute favorite companies for making syrups. So I find both of them have a huge range and a huge variety of different syrups, and they are very good at all the different syrups that they make. For those of you that are not as familiar, grenadine is actually, it's probably an oversimplification, but I like to think of it as a pomegranate syrup. But I say that's an oversimplification because it also does contain some other ingredients like an orange water and rose water, which add a lot of nice like citrus and floral notes that really make grenadine even better. And I find that when you're making a relatively simple cocktail like this, it just calls for 3 ingredients. You want all 3 of the ingredients to be really high quality. And I find that these 3 brands here, Laird's, Nelly & Joe's, and Lieber & Co. really do a good job of providing quality ingredients for home bartenders. So you can really have a high quality cocktail as long as you use ingredients like these or these exact ingredients themselves. So let's get right into making the cocktail. This is going to be a shaken cocktail like all sours are because it does contain a syrup and a citrus juice. And we're going to start with the applejack or apple brandy. As I mentioned, this is going to call for 2 ounces of this. So let's start with that. So there we got the 2 ounces of the apple brandy. Then we got 3/4 ounce of lime juice. And for the final ingredient, 3/4 ounce of grenadine. This is going to add a beautiful red color to the drink. So now we have all our ingredients in the smaller shaker tin. What I like to do next is add a couple ice cubes to the bigger ice cube tin. I'm going to go ahead and add 3. So now we have everything in there. Combine the 2 shakers, give it a good seal, and then shake for about 10 to 15 seconds. Now we have all the ingredients nice and combined. Go ahead and unlock the tin. And then, as I like to do with all shaken cocktails, I like to just do the shake and dump method. So we shake in the cocktail, and now we just dump all the ingredients, including the ice, directly into the serving glass. And as I mentioned already, it's going to be a nice, beautiful red color because of the grenadine. And there you have it, the Jack Rose. Cheers. So anyways, if you found the advice in this video helpful, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I like to do two styles of videos on this channel. The first will be like this one where I do a tutorial showing you guys how to make a specific cocktail. And the second style of video will be more talking head style where I go over general tips and tricks, share stories from my own home bartending journey, answer questions on different bartending topics and things like that I hope will help you guys become better home bartenders. And finally, if you really want to take home bartending even more seriously and you want to invest money into a paid community, I actually have one on school.com. That'll be the first link in the description below. Thank you. Cheers.